So in the past couple of days, I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, more specifically the Siege of Paris DLC. And I came across this really beautiful town in the game, and I really love the design of it and the location and how it feels like to walk in it, but something was off and I didn't realize what, until I finished the questline there, and I finally realized that there's nothing to do. And that's what I'm gonna be making this video about today, that there is nothing to do in cities nowadays. Back in the day when we used to get cities in games, there was always something to do. In Horan, I remember in Dying Light 1, I remember every fucking brick in that city. I went over every location in it because the quests sent me there. Nowadays, sadly, most games don't push us into every corner of a city that we have. And I think that's really a shame, and I really think that's the biggest problem by far with any open world game nowadays, especially with the Assassin's Creed series. Before I get really deep into it, if you're interested in the Siege of Paris DLC or Assassin's Creed in general, I'm gonna be making the video about it. It's dropping in this Sunday. If you're interested in a lot of Assassin's Creed stuff, stay, check out the channel because that's kinda my thing. Without further ado, let's get into the main issue with open world design nowadays. So I found this city in the Siege of Paris DLC that I really love the design of, the lighting, the NPCs, the location. It's really atmospheric and it really looks unique and different than the main game. And if you know, that was my biggest problem in the main game, that it wasn't varied enough. So this is variation. I really want to explore it, but there's nothing to do in it. There are no side quests, there's one main quest, there are no collectibles, no repeatable missions. You cannot do anything in this beautiful city that I'm sure the designers spent hours, if not days or weeks, doing it. It's really looks stunning, but it's there purely for window dressing. And that is the biggest issue I have with open worlds nowadays, that there are so many locations that I want to explore and I want to know about, but there's nothing to do in them. Back in the day, every mission sent you to very specific places and you used to go over the same places more and more. So by the time you move on to the next city, you already feel very satisfied with the city you were in. I knew the first part of Horan by hand when I got to the old city. And it's really just a shame because, you know, resource-wise, I'm pretty sure it would be cheap for the studio to do that. I'm not asking for much, just give me a mission where I go into a house, fight a dude, take his money, and go back home. That's all I want, but give me something to do in these really beautiful places. Valhalla is really a huge game. London had basically one story arc in it and nothing else, and it's really just a shame because it's too good for that. The same with other cities like Winchester or the Snow City, even the Viking City in the beginning of the game. It's really well designed and they put so much effort into it with the parkour system and the NPCs and the guards and whatever, and they just don't give you anything to do in them. And I think that is the biggest thing that Mirage should fix, and I think it does, since the whole game takes place in one city, so I think they really went hard on that idea that everything takes place in one city, and by the end of the game, hopefully, we're gonna know Baghdad by the back of our hand, just like with Dying Light 1 and other games like it. Now, if you watched my other video about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, then you know that my main complaint with the game was the bloat of it and how repetitive it got after a while. But it might sound stupid now that I want to ask for more stuff to do in the cities when I was complaining about the bloat, but it all comes back to quality over quantity. I'd rather have like 5 less story arcs and have just 1 or 2 really big cities with a lot of stories in them that I have to go through and stuff to see and just NPCs to talk to and living the life in the city. That's something that Assassin's Creed always did really good. And all of the other games, especially in Unity and Syndicate, you really felt the vibe of each city since it was all in the city basically, just like Mirage is gonna be. So hopefully Mirage will bring back this feeling and it's gonna bring back the series to what it used to be, city design wise. Still, look-wise and like street and build-wise, the cities are just as good as they ever were. My problem comes back to the same point I've been explaining about, and that's that there's nothing to do in these cities. And by the way, I just want to mention this is not an issue isolated to Assassin's Creed, by the way. This is also a thing in Horizon, in other games like The Witcher, but to a much less of a severe degree in The Witcher. Actually, it's one of the games that I think does this thing well. You know most places you go to, Novigrad, you know most of it. But games like Horizon really do the same, just like Assassin's Creed. I played the whole game through Horizon reason, and I don't remember anything about any city in it. Even though they look stunning, just like Assassin's Creed, I love the look and the NPCs, but I can't remember anything other than the general look, because I don't spend any time there. I was never forced to go and check some place, some house out, like in Skyrim, how you had special missions inside houses. And that is my main point in this whole video. I think that is one of the big issues that Assassin's Creed have, that they need to focus more on the buildings inside these beautiful, stunning cities that they do. And I think that Mirage, just like I said, is on the road to do that. And with Baghdad, it's gonna be amazing if it lives up to the hype. And from what I'm looking at, seems like it will. But at the end of the day, just like with anything else, this is just my personal opinion. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Do you prefer the open areas in video games like these? Because I love the open world, but I actually prefer open cities because it seems more personal and it feels more atmospheric than the open world with the open fields. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. Other than that, if you're interested in Assassin's Creed, that's what I do on the channel. So subscribe, like, check out my other videos. I reviewed the main game already of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I reviewed the first DLC, and I'm gonna be reviewing the second DLC very soon. And I also reviewed Assassin's Creed Origins. So if you're interested in any of that, check it out, talk to me, tell me what you think. And as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.